Hey guys, it's Matt from Crush and Clean, brown belt in Jiu-Jitsu, black belt in all things Sudsy. Wanted to take you on a ride, show you how we make our With Love batch soap, go through all the products that we use in our soaps, and just show you the whole process. So alright, we're going to start out, we're going to make our lye mixture. That's going to start with sodium hydroxide mixed with distilled water. We have our calculated recipe right here that we've been using for the past few years for With Love, beautiful lemongrass scented bar, but this is how we're going to start out. Alright, so we're going to start out by mixing our lye mixture, which again is sodium hydroxide, which is a very basic chemical. We're going to mix that with distilled water. That's going to make our lye mixture, and eventually we're going to be mixing that with our fats, and through that mix, it's going to be called the saponification process. So the lye is going to mix with the fats, and the end process will create soap, and we'll have an excess of oils. And in this specific bar, we will have approximately a 9% super fat, so about 9% of the remaining product will be the oils, the plant-based oils, which we utilize to create the soap. So basically what this lye does is break down the fatty acids in our oils and turn it into soap, and it's a cleaning product. It's really amazing. Most soap's not made that way nowadays. Stuff you buy in the supermarket, it's mostly a chemical replication of this process, but we do everything the old school way here, and with little minor improvements such as improved oils, and we do some nice additions of essential oils. We're going to add bentonite clay to this and some ground oatmeal. Just really make everything a little bit luxurious and up the ante. So alright, we got our lye mixed, or we got our lye measured out. There it is. So we got that measured out. Now that we have that measured out, we're going to measure out our water. So one thing to note is that you should never add the water to the lye. I haven't done it, so I don't really know exactly what would happen, but from what I understand, that's a no-no. You want to add the lye to the water, and you will get a reaction that creates, it'll reach about 130, 140 degrees, depending on the day, so it gets hot. So now we're going to measure out our distilled water. The reason we use distilled water is because it's free of impurities that will, it could react with your oils and cause the end product to be something that you don't want to sell and you don't want to have people looking at. It can have orange spots, stuff like that, and just go rancid earlier than it otherwise would. Alright, so that's all mixed up, or measured out. Done with the distilled water. Put that back in the spot. Now let's see, I'll show you this. I want to keep my head away from it, but do this in a well-ventilated area. Gonna take our lye, pour it into our water. Keep my head out of the way. But as you can see, it's pretty cloudy. Get this out of the way for you. Pretty cloudy. As the lye particles dissolve in the water, it will clear up. It's heating up right now. Again, I've seen it get to 140 degrees. Probably normally gets to around 120. And that's where I like the soap at. So after this, I do this first so I can allow it to cool down for a while prior to mixing this with my oils. But I just basically feel around and try to get all the grains of lye mixed in and dissolved. And that seems pretty good to me. So now that that's done, I'm going to put this off to the side and again let it cool while I work with getting my oils measured out. That's out of the way. So let's just go over what we're gonna put into these bars, what oils we use. So Our main oil is going to be olive oil. We got castor oil. We've got coconut oil. And we've got shea butter down here. That I'll show you once I get it out of the box. But, so that's the 4 oils that we're going to mix, and that will make our base. We've, through trial and error, found what works for us and what really provides a nice silky finish to the bar. So it's not only deep cleansing like you do want in the soap, because again, it's a soap, it's not just a luxury product, but we get a deep cleanse with our specific mixture, and we add in the shea butter, which adds some luxurious moisturizing effects, anti-inflammatory impacts, helps the elasticity of your skin. Then we got olive oil, which is again a nice silky oil. We use that as the main ingredient. It's just a good product overall. And then we finish it with castor oil, which adds some nice bubbles to the bar, and really we've been conditioned to think that soap has to be bubbly, so castor oil helps add that extra bubble factor to the bars. So what I do, I like to start with my solids. So I got my little pot here. We're not making a big batch today, but we are making a batch of about, it's gonna make 32 bars, which is good. That's 32 improved showers. That's what we want to see at Crush and Clean. Get natural into your bathroom, and that is our goal. So here we go. We're gonna start measuring out our coconut oil. So we're gonna need 32.9 ounces of coconut oil. So I use a knife to cut it up. I get big chunks out. It's 12 ounces. It's a small one. Be 32. It's almost there. Bear with me. $28, $32. Just need a little bit more. I like to give you a little extra as opposed to a little less. So there we go. That's 32 ounces of coconut oil. Perfect. Now we'll do shea butter. Again, I like to go to solids first in case I mismeasure. I can take a little bit out or easily add more if I need, but anyway. Alright, shea butter. Again, I don't use too much of this. It's gonna be, I use it about 10%. I'm gonna use 8.4 ounces. Can't get this. 8.4 ounces. So this is shea butter. It's a little deeper, opaque white. Again, it has a creamier, thicker texture than coconut oil. It adds a nice luxurious feel to the bars, and it is known to help the healing qualities of your skin. You don't normally want to use it in such large quantities because it doesn't add the most cleansing properties. But again, when you mix it in the right ratios, it really adds a nice luxurious feel to the end product. That's 7.4. Just a little bit more here. We need 8.4, so we need 1 more ounce, and right on the money there. All right. So that's all our solids measured out. That's all measured out. Now I'm gonna go with my castor oil. So I'm almost out of this, but again, I got I have a package on the way from Bulk Apothecary. They're giving me a re-up, and I will be able to get back on the soap train very soon. It's on the way, so it should be here any day. Alright, so 4.2, very light, 5%. Add some bubbles to these suckers. Make sure you know that you're getting clean when you're using Crush and Clean. And right to the last drop. This is going to be perfect. Alright, good deal. So there we go, castor oil done. We'll finish this off with olive oil. About 40 ounces of olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil, good quality stuff. Again, all from Bulk Apothecary. So we'll measure out 40 of this. Perfect. So now that we got this all measured out, that's all the oils, we're gonna go upstairs, melt this down, let it cool, then we'll mix it with our lime mixture that you saw me measure out, and then I'll show you our additions, which again is gonna be lavender, lemongrass, bentonite clay, and a little bit of ground oatmeal. So meet you up in the kitchen. Alright, so we're up in the kitchen. I usually just do this on my stove. Use high heat. And again, all I'm trying to do is melt down my solid oils, which is coconut oil and shea butter, in with my castor oil and olive oil. Get it all mixed together. And once it is melted, then we'll add the lime. And that's how we get soap through the saponification process. So this is basically the most active to the process that you're gonna get, is measuring it out and mixing it up. I really could walk away from this and just let it heat up for a while, but for the video I'm gonna sit here and mix it up. And it does take a while for it to melt down, probably about 10 minutes or so. So actually we're gonna speed up this part and we'll catch you back on when it's all melted. Welcome back. It's been about 5 minutes. We got the oils just about melted down. We're on high heat here. Usually the whole solution will get to approximately 140 to 160 degrees. I like the soap at about 120 degrees. I've messed up before and got impatient. Went at 140 degrees and it blew up in my face. So that wasn't the best. So yeah, I like to soap at around 120. So once I do have this mixed all the way in and melted down, I'm going to take some time to measure out what I showed you downstairs, the essential oils, the bentonite clay, and the oatmeal. Allow that to sit for a while, allow the essential oils to get absorbed by the clay, which helps the scent of the bars last longer as it's curing. It really pulls that stuff in and keeps it lasting longer. So I'll do that. I'm about to be done here. And again, yeah, I'll let this cool for probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then we will mix. But let me bring you back downstairs and we'll get the essential oils mixed. And then I'm taking an egg break in the meantime. Alright, see you downstairs as promised. And I'm going to show you the mixtures of the add-ons, which really, this is what you're going to feel the most coming out of the bar. What we just made upstairs is the nice silky base that's that can be reused over and over again for multiple bars and multiple different variations. What I'm going to do now is mix up the scent, and these are what's going to mostly remain in the bar, because like I said before, through the saponification process, the sodium hydroxide mixture is going to eat up a lot of the fats and turn it to soap. This specific product is going to have about 9% super fat or leftover fats, so leftover olive oil, coconut oil, shea butter, and castor oil. I can't determine which oil is going to stay the most in the bar, but I know that approximately 9% of the leftover oils, and they're well mixed together, is going to remain, and that adds some moisturizing properties on top of the soap itself, which is the cleanser. But this stuff we're going to add after the saponification process has already began, so that these will really come through in the bar and really pop the scent off and really add their properties to the bar. Which lavender, we're going to get a nice cleansing and nice calming properties, right? People love lavender, I love lavender. And then lemongrass, really perfect for the springtime. Beautiful lemon scent. Your whole shower is gonna be better than it is now, right? I'm telling you, you're gonna. Springtime's coming, blossoms are coming out in your shower right there. So anyway, I'm going to mix up my solid products first, and actually I have my phone on top of the container for the oatmeal, but we'll start with bentonite clay. So bentonite clay is going to help pull out excess oils from your skin, and that's its main property that's going to be added. Remove excess oils, add a little bit of a texture to the bar that can be a little bit gritty. I just love, once I added clay to one bar, I said I'm adding it to all of them. It really ups the game. So alright, there we go. Next I'm gonna grab you guys and we'll pour the oatmeal together. One-handed. Boom. Alright, so this is just ground oats. I ground in my food processor. Adds a little bit of an exfoliant to the bar, a little bit of it, again, a creamy texture. It's just a nice light exfoliant that we love. Perfect for your sensitive skin. This bar was more meant, well, my fiance at the time, my wife now actually, came up with the idea, so we were going for something a little more feminine, and oatmeal as opposed to pumice is what we came to the conclusion would be a good addition. So that's how we got oatmeal, but I really think it's been a great addition. I've added it to Happy Bees as well, which is one of our best selling products, and everyone seems to love it. So there we go, just a little bit of oatmeal, a lot goes a long way. Don't want it too gritty. So that's there. Let me put you back. Boom. If I can do that quick, that would be awesome. Did, let's go. Alright, so next we add lavender essential oil. For this specific bar, it's about a 50-50 mixture, lavender, lemongrass. And again, oh man, that's good stuff. All from Bulk Apothecary, all natural essential oils. We never use fragrance oils in any of our bars. We think that's disingenuous, so we use essential oils and we spend the extra to give you a quality product that you guys can trust for your skin and for your family's skin, for any athlete in your life, anyone looking for a better clean is what I say. So there we go. This stuff is gonna go a very long way. You don't need much. In fact, it can be, if you use too much essential oils, it can actually be detrimental to the skin. It's not, there's a certain percentage that is safe to use. What would they say? As like a rub. So I got that down to a science, and I use way less than would otherwise be impacted. Now I got the lemongrass going in. This is the scent that's really gonna come forward, and like I say, it's gonna pop, and it's gonna remind you of those spring days that we so love here in New Jersey that are just popping right now. Really invigorate those senses with some essential oils. So there we go, all mixed up. I like to give it a twirl. And there we go. Beautiful scent. Mix that in. I'm gonna let the clays really absorb the essential oils. It's gonna help spread it around in my soap mixture once I do put it in, and it holds the scent tight to the bars, as opposed to sometimes you can get a good amount of evaporation of the oils, but by being bound up in the clays, that's gonna help that out. So there we go. Gonna take a little break, get a little food in me, and then we'll be back to mix all the soap up and show you the pouring process. Alright guys, so we're back after a little egg break and a lift. About an hour and a half, we allowed this stuff to cool. So let's see what temperature we're at. For some reason it keeps going to Celsius. 111, perfect. And the lye solution is about 105. Again, perfect, not too hot. We don't want it too hot because this mixture itself is going to create heat. And if you get the oils too hot, they will boil and you'll run over your container, which is a huge mess and not fun for the wife to clean up. All right, so let's go. We're going to mix in our lye with our oils and start making soap. So we pour that in, the saponification process starts. We get our trusty immersion blender and start mixing that up. Come check it out. That creamy white texture and color that we're getting is the lye reacting with the oils and starting to make soap. As we continue to mix, it could take around 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the heat that everything's at and depending on our specific mixture of oils. But as the reaction occurs, it's going to start to thicken up. I like to just get things to a very, very light, what we call trace, which is where the top would the top thickens up and your mixture is ready and turned into soap. So I like to keep mine fairly liquidy because it makes it easier to pour into my molds. It also makes it easier for me to mix in my essential oils and other additions, all the good stuff that we went over earlier. If you can see the sides, we're starting to get a little bit of a film on the sides. Again, the saponification process is working and we're getting our mixture to be a little thickened. We're almost there, just a little bit more. So like I said earlier, this specific mixture is gonna leave approximately 9% oils in the bar. That means that we'll have, all the lye will be ate up. That's why I don't put it on the ingredients label. I indicate things as saponified oils as opposed to sodium hydroxide, because there's none left in the final product. The final product is soap plus oils, plus essential oils and whatever additions that we add. So, all right, here we go. We're pretty thickened here. Time to add the essential oils, oatmeal, and bentonite clay. Here, going in, perfect. Beautiful lemongrass, scented, a little bit of lavender. I'm feeling calmer already. Just gonna finish this off. The immersion blender again. Doesn't need too long just to get everything mixed in. Now that we let the saponification process happen a little bit without the essential oils in there, they'll really come through in the final product. They won't get eaten up as much by the lye, because a lot of the process is actually already taking place. Alright, looking like we're all mixed up. Oh, God. I used the wrong color. This. Let me get a little bit of red. How did it turn red all of a sudden?
It's all part of the process.
This is not meant.
As long as we don't.
Yeah. Alright, so this is the final product. I ended up adding some Moroccan red clay. I totally made a mistake and I forgot that I'm supposed to turn it red. So here we go. We added the red clay and we're all good. It's all good. The final product is immaculate. So this is with love, ready for the pour. We're gonna make approximately, this is about 120 ounces of soap, which makes 3 logs, which makes about 24 bars of soap. Again, that's 24 improved showers, so I'm happy with it. Small batch, but it's all right. Again, I'm waiting on more products from Bulk Apothecary that's in the mail. which will get us back to our normal, which is actually we make 54 bars at a time, or 48 bars at a time. So we'll get the last bit of this here. Try to get these as even as possible. Each bar is about 4.5 to 5 ounces. As the bars cure and sit for a while, they lose a little bit of weight in evaporation, but that's all part of the process. They actually last longer, even though they might weigh less at the end. The longer they cure, the longer they last. But here we go. So a little bit more. So I'll just flatten these out, even these out here. You can do fancy things with the tops of the soap. I'm not in it for the fanciness. I'm in it for the athletes and people looking for a better quality soap at a decent price. Something that actually cleans and isn't just good looking. Final resting place. Good to go. Cut these suckers tomorrow. Thanks for following along. Peace.